All right, Sauce, let's start with last season since we rolled out the red carpet for you. Some of the stats are incredible. One of the best seasons for a debut NFL rookie corner. Also having the opportunity to knock down 20 passes, lead the league in that, 2 interceptions. When you think about your personal stat line, the accolades that you've garnered, which is the one that you enjoy the best?
I'll probably say Defensive Rookie of the Year. But at the same time, I was first team All-Pro, so it's like when it comes to Defensive Rookie of the Year, you can only be a rookie one time, so you can't get that year back. That's why I cherish that. I cherish that moment so much. And first team All-Pro, like being the first cornerback as a rookie to be a first team All-Pro since Ronnie Lott, like that was big. History. It's between those two, but probably the Rookie of the Year because I can only be a rookie once. And I look forward to getting more All-Pros.
Take me back to the first time, you ran out of an NFL stadium, the light hits the helmet, and did you in your mind believe that all of these accolades and what you were able to accomplish in your first year were going to happen?
Yeah, most definitely. I always went on the field like with the mentality that, the guys on the other side of the ball, they put their pants on just like me. I set those goals for myself, and, I felt like I was going to achieve them.
What was the sauciest play you had last year?
I'd probably say the one play against the Packers, the pass breakup versus the Hobbs, I believe. I had a good break. That was a good break right there for me. It actually was trending on the internet for a little minute. I think it was an out-up curl or something like that. They call it a compass route. Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite plays.
What are some of the plays that when you go back in the locker room or guys are just like, bro, like that was the one?
I remember when I caught the pick versus the Dolphins, they was like, yeah, you came out your break. Like that was it right there. So that was probably one of the best ones.
Okay, so you go through an entire season, you play incredibly well, and then you're just looking at year 2 and all of the improvements that can still be made. If you had to critique your game, what would the critiques be? Where do the weaknesses lie? What can you improve on?
I want to get more takeaways, more interceptions, force more fumbles, show up even more in the run game. Not saying that I don't, because I had a pretty good amount of tackles. I just want to improve in every category.
I don't want you to give too much away, but if you were a wide receiver playing against Sauce, how would you make plays? Like, what's the scouting report?
I don't know for real. Like, that's a good question. Because I feel like I'm pretty good, when it comes to everything. So I don't know. That's a good question. I never got asked that.
When you think about some of the great Jets that have played, for this organization, Darelle Revis comes to mind, and we are covering the Hall of Fame game, and he's a part of that Hall of Fame class, which is kind of cool. I'm just interested in your relationship with him or any elder kind of NFL cornerbacks.
I talk to Sherm. Me and Reed, we talk a decent amount. He give me pointers, for stuff on and off the field. He was one of the first guys I talked to who played for the Jets when I first got drafted. So he been that role model that I need. Playing for the Jets, so he already know. He familiar with the staff. He familiar with the market, everything like that. So he been a guy that I could have in my back pocket to just contact for anything.
Best advice he's given you so far?
I remember he told me don't make the moment bigger than what it is. And I just carried that like with me the whole way. Like when it comes to the media, when it comes to them primetime games, when it comes to those big games, for me, there's no pressure. So that's probably the best advice he gave me.
Yeah, you bring up the media, and being in New York, it's a little bit of a different animal. How do you deal with it? How do you process New York media and performing with the Jets in the middle of it?
No, I just keep the main thing the main thing. I enjoy it. I enjoy playing in New York. Having a great fan base like what we have. So, yeah, I enjoy it. I keep the main thing, and don't get caught up on all the other stuff going on.
I'm not going to name any names, but there are people out there who say you're overrated because you're in the New York media market. And your take is like, I've been an underdog all my life. How do you balance these two things?
I just be laughing at it. I was always the overlooked one. I ain't have all those big offers coming out of high school. I went to Cincinnati. Like, they're a Power 5 school now, but they wasn't at first. So, now it's like, for me, now I'm overrated. But back then when it was other corners, 5-star corners, and there's this and that. It was, oh yeah, he the underdog, this and that. But now it's like, when I'm making plays, then all of a sudden I'm overrated. So it just be weird to me, but like I said, I keep the main thing the main thing.
Can't win for losing, basically. When you think about the sophomore, were you Ahmad then or Sauce? I don't know which one to refer to him as, but we'll call him Ahmad Sauce. When you were a sophomore in high school, if you went back and told that kid that you're going to be, a first-team All-Pro your rookie season, NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, what do you think that teenager would have said?
He probably would have been a little surprised because sophomore year I was still playing receiver. I didn't get switched to cornerback till my junior year of high school, so he probably would have been a little shocked and surprised. Yeah, man, it would have caught him off guard for sure.
I love that you thought that the future was going to be offensive, and now here we sit at the cornerback position. When did you realize that was going to be your ticket? When did you know that you were elite?
I remember we was playing against Cass Tech. I went to Detroit Martin Luther King High School, and Cass Tech was our rival. There's guys from Cass like Jordan Lewis, Donovan Peoples-Jones, like guys like that who are in the league still today. And I remember our corner and our safety ran into each other. Our corner had broke his jaw, so they didn't know who to put at cornerback. It was a backup cornerback, but they didn't think he was going to perform in a big moment. They just threw me out there. I got to make some plays, and that was right before the playoffs. So I started at corner throughout the whole playoffs, and it was like I was locking people down. So that's when I'm like, oh yeah, this is where I want to be at.
This is crazy. So it's like by chance that we have Sauce Gardner here.
Yeah.
It was an injury?
Injury. It was weird. That's why I just be like, man, I can't control what God has in store for me. You know what I mean? So I just make sure I put the work in, and I'm blessed.
Another story that I heard from your YouTube documentary is that you were begging for a chance, for the opportunity to play on Varsity, correct?
Oh yeah.
What happened with that?
All right, so we had a 4-way scrimmage, and it was like three other high schools. And long story short, my teammate left me. He ended up leaving me, so I couldn't even prove that I got what it takes, to play varsity. You know what I mean? So they tried to put me on JV. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna put you on JV. I know you're gonna dominate JV, then I'm gonna just move you up. But it wouldn't be fair to other people if I do it, if I just put you on varsity. So I ended up going back to Little League, because the way Little League is in Detroit, you could play while you were in 9th grade. So it's popular though. So I went back to Little League. I was going to college camps. I actually got my first Division I offer from Toledo at receiver when I was in the 9th grade from a camp. So it's like I was all over the place when I was young. It's just crazy.
So many of these stories are great, and they come from a place that you love, Detroit, Michigan, the 313. How does that place define the person and the player that we know today as Sauce Gardner?
I feel like Detroit defines it a lot, I just got that don't panic mentality, you know what I mean? I don't ever fold, that's because I've been through a lot of stuff and I've seen a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? So Detroit always gonna hold a special place in my heart. Got a lot of memories in Detroit. So that's why I always go back, give back. I'm gonna keep giving back.
How would you describe what it is that you had to overcome just to make it here?
Man, being in Detroit, you're gonna have to go through a lot of adversity because there's a lot of distractions and it's so easy to get caught up. And probably 80 to 90% of the people, especially the athletes, they get caught up in those distractions. And it's they just nonstop, you know what I mean? Especially when you got something going for yourself, that's when the distractions come in even more. Because they come in from people who close to you. Not just random people. So yeah, so I had to overcome all of that stuff. The ones who really know me and really understood, they understood where I was coming from, you know what I mean?
Big shout out to Mom, because she asked you an important question when you were younger. It was, are you gonna be a follower or a leader? How does that define who you are?
A lot, like you said, big shout out to her. I just always had a mentality to lead, At the same time, it's when you're a leader, I don't know how to put this. It's it's different leaders. you got the quote-unquote leaders who people listen just because they have to, and you got the people who are true leaders, and the people want to actually listen, and they want to, they want you to bring them with them. You know what I mean? That's the type of leader I always try to be. You know, the type of leader that just want to bring people with me. And, you know, people actually want to come with me instead of me just being the type to just be talking and it's like, damn, I got to listen to this dude. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, big shout out to her.
Can you give me some examples of how you lead now in the place that you are?
For instance, I have a voice in our DB room. You know what I mean? We got veterans like Michael Carter, we got DJ Reed, but they always tell me how they always learn the stuff from me, you know, as well as I'm always learning stuff from them as well. So, you know, I always just use my voice. You know what I mean? At the same time, when I'm talking about something, I got to actually be doing it myself. Feel me? Like, can't nobody tell you that I'm always talking about something, but I'm not actually doing it. Feel me? So that's probably the main reason. Like, at first, I used to just be the type to just lead by example. Now, you know, it's year 2, I'm a little bit more vocal. You know, I was more vocal at the end of last year as well, but I remember when I first came in, it was just straight work. You know, and I feel like I got some stuff that people can learn from me, you know, no matter what position it is.
I think I remember you mentioned that even this year in year 2, you hope to be even more team-focused or team-oriented. Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Man, it's just like, I remember when I used to always get asked, like, what I want to accomplish, and it's like, I always used to say, like, yeah, I want to do this. You know, instead of just asking, like, are you asking as a team or are you asking, like, my individual goals? So now, like, somebody asks what I want to make happen, it's just always team. You know what I mean? It's not, I've always been team-oriented, but I just want to be, like, I want to have even more of an emphasis on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, give it to me. Team, what do you want to happen this year?
So I want to win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And I'm willing to do whatever it takes, willing to put in however much more time, you know, I have to put in so that way I know I'm doing my job. You know, I'm willing to just be the best team that I could be on and off the field. Willing to be a sponge because we got some veterans on the team, so willing to soak up all the game and information that they got from me so that way I could do my job even better.
All right, well, speaking of veterans, let's talk about the future Hall of Famer that is now on the sidelines with you. How much of a role do you believe personally you played in getting Aaron Rodgers to become a Jet?
I feel like I played a big role. You know, he actually told me that, you know, that I was, quote-unquote, recruiting him. You know what I mean? So I feel like I played a pretty big role, and it's just a blessing to be able to have him. You know, have a guy who has seen a lot of football, he's seen a lot of defenses, so it's like he could really just tell me how a team might try to attack me. He could tell me what he can see, how I'm giving the coverage up, or something like that. Like, being able to have a quarterback that can do that, you know, that's just great, and it helps my game a lot.
I feel like we should have known from, like, last season when you guys went to Green Bay, you had the Cheesehead on. We should have known then that this was going to be possible. But tell me the role that the Cheesehead played in the recruitment.
Man, that was great. Like, I didn't even know I was going to end up doing that, but it's like, come on, man, this is Aaron Rodgers. Be a blessing to play with him, and you know, I feel like making that YouTube video of me bringing the Cheesehead, I feel like that was going to be fire. And I actually hit it off with that. He told me he seen the video, and he told me he was going to make it happen.
It's interesting because you guys have a lot of pieces. You know, you got your Quinnen Williams, you, Garrett Wilson, which, by the way, we loved y'all going back and forth in the video. How do these pieces all come together? How do you feel like they're coming together so far?
They're coming together great. You know, it's not even just the pieces on the performance aspect. Like, these are a lot of great people. Like, Quinnen, he a great guy. Garrett, great guy. You know what I mean? It's just like people that's easy to work with, easy to just build with, easy to just have a bond with. So when you go on the field, it's like the trust is there. You know what I mean? I know without a doubt Aaron trusts Garrett. You know, they connection that they've been having, you know, it's been great just being able to watch it unfold. You know what I mean? I know on defense, I know Quinnen gonna get to the quarterback, you know, especially if they don't double team him. You know, just being able to have that trust, you know, on and off the field, you know, that's just great.
And trust comes with experience and time spent together, too. What is the hardest lesson you feel like you learned from a season ago?
Probably just stay down, like stay humble. Because I remember we went on that run at the beginning. It was just, everybody was just up, you know, not really just thinking like, come on, man, we got a whole rest of the season we got to tend to as well. I mean, so that's probably it. You know, just keep the main thing, stay focused. Don't let one win, you know, take you over the edge to the point where you not focusing on the fundamentals of things. You know what I mean? So
Let's talk a little bit more about, okay, time away from football, because I know you're a gamer. I know we're on Twitch. Why is that such a big part of the life and the way that you communicate and interact with fans?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna put you on game. Like, all right,
Please
so,
put me on game.
so I got my Roleplay server, GTA RP. It's called New Salt City, right? And it's like real life. So it's everything that you could think of that goes on in the real world goes on in my server. So like one of my main reasons of creating it was to just help get people out the streets. I feel like I had a goal that I wanted to focus on because, you know, it'd be people in the streets who actually like playing games and stuff like that. So I feel like having a server where people could come in like and do whatever they want, you know what I mean? That'll help them, you know, not do it in real life because they time would be too focused on, you know, my server or something like that. So that was my reason of doing that, and I got a lot of feedback from it, like people who really be in the streets, people who really been to prison and stuff like that before, and they done told me thank you for, like, I'm one of their favorite players or I'm their favorite player, and my server has helped change their life and is still helping it because, you know, they spend more time in my server than they actually do out in the streets doing whatever they used to do. You know what I mean? So that's one of my main reasons of doing it, you know, and being able to interact with fans as well, you know, like, it's kind of like it's me. For me, they could come up, talk to me, but at the same time, it's like I got to stay in character, so they not coming up to me like, hey, man, I was at your game, this, and that. So it's like they role playing, so they got to meet me all over again, even though they know, like, exactly who I am. But, yeah, that's one of my main reasons of doing it, and I feel like it worked a lot, you know, and I'm going to keep doing it.
I love it. It's like gaming with a purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know that you have tattooed on yourself empath, and that's just a word that you really relate to, or that's what you consider yourself. Describe for me more why that word means so much to you.
You know, like I said earlier, you know, I've been through a lot of stuff in my life. You know what I mean? So I always encounter people who going through something. I don't know why. I don't know what it be. It could be God just sending people my way or something like that. I always encounter people going through something, and it's like I can just relate to where they coming from. You know, I could just feel what they feeling, you know, the pain and stuff like that. So I just love being able to give people advice and just being able to help people. You know what I mean? Even if it's something that don't got nothing to do with me, like, you know, I feel like I'll be affected by stuff too. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I have two things that I want to show you. We're playing show and tell. So I'm going to take it out. You got to tell me something about the item. Okay, ready? The first one, you've seen it before, but we need the story behind it.
All right, so this right here, this reminds me of when I was young, you know, when I got my nickname. You know what I mean, I was 6 years old. My little league coach gave me the nickname A1 Sauce Sweet Pea Gardner. And yeah, this reminds me of.
Mm-hmm. It's stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Do you prefer to be called Sauce? Or
Yeah, it's
Ahmad?
just sauce.
Just Sauce, nothing else. Okay.
Oh, you said sauce or Ahmad?
Yeah.
It don't matter to me.
No?
On the field, probably sauce. But like if we ain't on the field, I don't really be caring.
One more thing. You ready?
Okay. And this right here was crazy. I never put one of these on. Middle school, I didn't have a graduation. I know a lot of people do. High school, my graduation was in June, and I was in training camp at college, and like I was trying to get a starting spot. So I ended up going back to graduate. They just mailed me my diploma.
Mm-hmm.
And August 4th, which is in about, 4 days? Yeah, in about 4 days, I get to wear one of these for the first time, so.
Why was it so important for you to go back and make sure like you wear it and walk across the stage?
Man, just knowing I'm a huge inspiration to the youth and the young people, you know, so I know their parents always gonna stress to them that they need to graduate and keep school first, which is true, and I understand that. So I feel like I gotta be a part of that as well and just show them and be an example. Like, all right, that's Sauce. He making plays on the field. You know what I mean? He left college in 3 years, but he still made sure that he graduated from college. You know, he didn't wait 10+ years. Nothing against the people who do. You know what I mean? Because, you know, better later than never. But he made sure he graduated. And also, man, just something for my mom to have, you know, a degree. You know what I mean? So she could talk about it, call my aunties or whatever, my grandma, and just talk about it like she always do. Always talking about something with them.
I have one more thing. Can I show them? Okay, I was just alarmed that you didn't know who Jessica Alba was. So I just put together a little picture thing, and I just wanted to go through. Do you know who this is?
Those the singers. What's their name? Yeah, I know their songs.
Okay. That's TLC.
TLC, yeah.
Okay, so this is helping you because, you know, Aaron Rodgers is a little bit older, so his genre is different. So I'm just trying to, like, help you know what's happening, just in case you run into some of these people.
Who is that?
The Backstreet Boys. No?
No, I don't know about them. I don't know about the Backstreet.
The Backstreet Boys?
I don't know who that is.
Justin Timberlake.
Oh, yeah, I know who that is.
Okay.
Just in case. I know what Justin Timberlake
Right,
is.
y'all could be at a Knicks game or something. You might
from
be
New
sitting
York
next
or
to you. No, I don't know, but people come to the Knicks game from all over.
Janet Jackson?
Oh my God. Do you know what movie this is clipped from?
No.
Poetic Justice. It's okay, we'll work on it.
That. He the actor. What's his name?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
New Jack City. The
That's the
character is Nino Brown. If you have New Sauce City, you have to know who this is, okay?
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact. Last one. What movie is this from?
Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
Boy. Damn.
Yes. Keep going.
I just seen that
I know.
movie. Hold on. What she say right there? You love me, Jody.
She punches him in the face. Boy, something boy.
Hold on, don't tell me. Just wait. It's Boy first?
Boy
I've seen
second.
that movie so many times.
And I'm about to have a...
Oh, Baby Boy. That's it. Hey, I seen that. I'm just tweaking. I can't believe that. That's crazy. Because I know that movie, like, through and through. Like,
Wait, you have to... Who is this?
I don't know who that is. I probably do.
This is Britney Spears. Just
okay.
in case you run into her, okay?
See, I don't be knowing these people. I be knowing these people, but, like, I don't be knowing these people. You know
That was a little lesson of the early 2000s, a little 20-year difference between you and Aaron, but now you can go back and talk to him about these things, okay?
Cool.
Ask him if he listens to the Backstreet Boys.
I just watched Baby Boy like 2 weeks ago.
We really got you with Baby Boy. Like, there's really no returning from. He's like,
I know that whole movie.
Wait, come this
it's
way.
just because we just had practice. I ain't really in the right.
Don't blame practice.
You know?
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.